Thank you very much for the opportunity to present this talk in this format, and thank you to being there. Yes, and so the title of this presentation is R&D in Social Sciences: Challenges and Opportunities of Specific Positioning as a Researcher. So I really want to thank the Ronin Institute for Independent Scholarship, and this will be also something I will underline at the end of the presentation again, and the presentation will feed this us to be thankful about this, or me to be thankful about this. This presentation is based on material located in Belgium and in France. So maybe you may have another experience of R&D in social sciences in the country where you are living in, and I'm really curious about this. So this is just to make clear that I just have this view to inform my thought now. And the presentation was initially created in French for the French Sociological Association Congress and in a thematic group dedicated to the sociology of knowledge. And basically, the purpose or a guiding principle of the presentation of what I have in mind is that saying I am a researcher is not sufficient. I really need to practice research, and how do I prove it, or how do I prove it to myself? And this was questions while I was building this presentation and thinking about the material and what happened in my scholarship at this stage. So it's about internalizing research in social sciences outside of academia. And so I will first describe the place where am I. It's the place where I'm working. I'm currently employed there as a researcher, and it's a non-profit dedicated to fight homelessness. It's a place opened every day all along the year. There are 30 people working there, mainly social workers, it exists for 26 years. And what can be underlined is that in 2020 there were more than 1,200 different persons frequenting the daycare center. It's a very huge non-profit in Belgium, huge enough so that ministry directly invite the non-profit to participate to negotiation related to social work. It's a huge budget for a non-profit. And half of the budget have to be found during the year on the basis of a project, call for project, and is the single one in the French-speaking part of Belgium, which were opened during the whole pandemic, including the first lockdown. And so it's a strong place also to share methodologies and practice within the field of social action in the field. However, there is a lack of legitimacy of this non-profit. Also maybe because it's like a huge one, and so this led to the creation of this department following a meeting between the director of the non-profit and me several years ago. From a strategic point of view, the objective is to make known what is done within the non-profit, to receive more legitimacy about what is done. And so we build a book project for the 25 year of the non-profit. So in fact, I know the non-profit since 2015, as I started as a research volunteering within the structure. And basically, I help to do a biography of violence for a mother, frequent homeless mother. And also, I put in place, in a collaborative manner, a tool of a combined tool in order to collect and to use data so that they can be used on a daily basis for the nonprofit by the social worker until as a researcher for my use for my research. So I was a volunteer, and by the end of 2019, I became employed, and the intuition was as follow. Several sectors have R&D department, for instance, industry, and it's within their enterprise, their firm, in order to nourish their objective and their action. And so why not for homelessness fight? And so to use the appropriate discipline in order to guide their action. And this intuition met a lot of enthusiasm from a partner, but not the related funding. And so we decided to do as it were existing, and just to do it and to see what happened when we are doing it, if we manage to get the funding. Because in fact we are not selling products, so there is no patent attached to what can be produced in such a R&D environment, contrarily to firm. Of course, there are well-being for people, for the society, and like this, but it's difficult to value it for money. So this was the primary intention. And why it was not done on the basis of a researcher from outside? Because they already did it during the past 20 years, but the drawback was that the result was not shared or not in an appropriate form. I mean, not taking care about how the nonprofit can use the result. And it was really using the field and then taking the result out just to build the career of the researcher doing the research. And so for this, the creation of the department, the idea was to produce knowledge and analysis on the basis of the available data in order to nourish action. And so it's a research based on and for social worker and the field. And nourish action, it can be very direct or indirect. I mean, from really giving insight to the social worker for their daily work until feeding call for a project in order to receive more money or to go back to ministry for an overall public policy. So from my side, it was really strong enthusiasm because I really wish to understand and to explain the trajectories of how people go out of homelessness, how to see when something makes sense and have the leverage to go out of homelessness. And also to see where are trauma events and how we can deal with this trauma event in those trajectories. And also it's amazing because it's 26 years of existence, and so 20 years of archive with quantitative data, qualitative data. So a huge opportunity to have longitudinal analysis, because going out of homelessness represent time. I was able to access directly to the data because I was within the nonprofit, so it's easier to access the data and to proceed to the anonymization myself. Also, I can observe what is going on, what is said about the action, what is done, and to see the difference or the similarity, and also to interact with social worker and with homeless people in order to understand and to also feed my thought and enter with more nuances in the analysis. So I'm sorry, I'm not managing to change the slide, so I will just continue. Yes. So then the question is from intention to reality. This was the intention. So the intention is to make known and to produce knowledge with the legitimacy of being a researcher. And it's based on authentic collaboration with social worker and also later with homeless people in order to valorize also their knowledge. And so the risk I identified at this point was maybe I'm just doing like meiotics of what is done. And so where is my added value as a researcher? This was one of my concern. And at the same time, making things known was really building like a literature of action, because what is done is not known outside or in the literature because it's not in written.
Stephanie, we're at 11 minutes. Can you take a minute to wrap up, please?
Yes, and so came COVID-19, and with COVID-19, the intention completely so remain, but change. The intention remain, but the reality capture us because I was completely shifting from being a researcher to occupy an operational role in the field in order to cope with the pandemics. And at the same time, I was like not really lying myself, but putting like a mask saying, okay, it's a long ethnographic field research, and so I'm still a researcher and I'm still doing research. But then one question maybe is that it's an amazing field, but is that an endless field? And so how I can disengage myself in order to rebuild the distance and to take the time to analyze and to write and to do one part and the finalized part of being a researcher. Because one thing is to collect data, having amazing data, thinking about analysis, doing the analysis. But if I'm not reaching to communicate about the result, how it questions the profession, or how we are, or am I a researcher? And is there a risk of ontological shift from this point of view? And so my ongoing concern at this point is that when we are internalized in a structure and when the field is the material for the research, but we are completely embedded in it, how we rebuild this distance in order to still articulate the field and action, but also to keep research alive in all its dimensions. And to go to the first slides, belonging to a research community, it's extremely important because it remains like an anchorage in order to keep all the objective and to stay stronger, or to keep this anchorage as a researcher and remind how or what are the objectives in order to still be a researcher. And this is why I'm extremely grateful to the existence of the Ronin Institute. And I'm really happy also to have the opportunity to share thoughts because I'm curious about your own experience. Is that specific to the case in France and in Belgium? Is that as there parallel in other kind of science or other field? I'm really curious about this, and also to build like tools in order to enable still being a researcher while embedded in our material, or at least this is my case right now. Thank you very much.
We have time for a minute or two of questions.